You're watching KAUT, Freedom 43 TV. You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 9 p.m.
It just seems to be, nobody really knows anything.
More Oklahomans vaccinated for COVID-19. How the new vaccine rollout plan has some Oklahomans scratching their heads. Plus, a COVID-19 battle. The message one Enid school principal is now sharing about his fight. And driving on New Year's Eve. What the Oklahoma Highway Patrol wants you to know before you get behind the wheel. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brittany Spears. We will get to those stories in a moment, but we have a lot of weather to talk about. Mr. Slater himself is in the Fort Warren Storm Center to break it all down for us. Let us know, John.
All right, Brittany. The main part of this storm system is yet to come for later on tomorrow night, on into early Friday. Let me show you some video from the first part of the system that came through late yesterday, last night, in the early morning hours. We had rain and thunderstorms, over an inch of rain officially at Will Rogers World Airport. And then we talked about this yesterday, how enough cold air would come in and we could see some of the precip change over to a wintry mix of some sleet and snow on the backside as it was moving out of the area. That's exactly what happened. Just south and southeast of Oklahoma City, east-northeastward, up towards the Tulsa area, points off to the east, had about 1 to 2 inches of snow. This is Jeremy Carter around the Shawnee area. So a little burst of snow with that first wave coming in. It's cleared on out. Now, where is the main storm system? There it is down to our southwest. This is a huge, very intense upper-level storm system right now, and it's going to take the perfect track up through eastern Oklahoma late Thursday into Friday. Perfect track for heavy winter precipitation, central western Oklahoma. The problem is it's so strong, it's pulling in some warmer air aloft on the east and northeast side of the system. That means it's going to be really tough to change over to snow from Oklahoma City off to the east-northeast. That's going to cut down on snowfall accumulations. We're on the edge here in the metro area. Heaviest snow, though, just off the west, northwest of Oklahoma City. Later on tomorrow night into Friday, winter storm watches here. Winter weather advisories here in central Oklahoma because we are on the edge here in the Oklahoma City area. So overnight tonight, it's just mostly cloudy, cold, little rain in southeastern Oklahoma. Lows tonight, 20s and 30s. All the details on this storm system coming up.
All right, thank you, John. The State Department of Health has started phase 2 of its vaccine distribution plan in some parts of the state, leaving many Oklahomans patiently waiting for their vaccinations. But as News 4's Chase Horn reports, there still remains little information about how that process will work.
First responders started getting their COVID-19 vaccine this week as part of phase 2 of the Department of Health's plan. But other groups in phase 2 say they aren't being told anything about when and where to get the shot when it's their turn.
It seems to be, nobody really knows anything, and nobody really knows who would know anything.
Jennifer Jones had a double lung transplant 5 years ago. She's eligible to get a vaccine as part of phase 2 of Oklahoma's vaccination plan due to having comorbidities. But there's no clear guidance yet from the state on how to get it.
I felt sure that my transplant clinic would know something, and basically all they told me was PCP or local pharmacies.
Only they didn't have the answers either.
My primary care doctor didn't know anything about it and didn't even know if they were going to be receiving any vaccines at all.
The state health department calls its vaccine plan fluid. Officials still don't know how many doses they'll have in the coming weeks and months.
A lot of this information we get just a few days at a time. It doesn't give us a lot of lead time to predict when we'll be able to serve certain groups.
The state is working on an app where people can register for an appointment, but Reed says it won't be available until next week at the latest. In the meantime, he says the public can look for updates on social media and local news. However, none of that information has been released as of Wednesday.
I wish we had better answers for people. I wish we could give everybody a day and time for them to get vaccinated.
Chase Horn, Oklahoma's News 4.
The state will set up locations to help distribute the vaccine as we get deeper into phase 2. However, no dates or locations have been announced just yet. Now taking a look at Oklahoma's latest coronavirus numbers. More than 3,200 new cases were reported today. 48 more people have died, bringing our state's death toll to 1,924. Hospitalizations are down by 8 tonight. You will find a complete list of the latest COVID numbers at KFOR.com. An Enid Elementary School principal now more than 2 months into a harsh battle with COVID-19. Scott Allen has been bedridden since his diagnosis. Now he's receiving some rare test results. News 4's Jessica Bruno has the update.
Scott Allen is now dealing with some rare heart rate fluctuation, and he's still struggling to breathe. But still, just as he told me a few weeks ago when we first spoke with him, he's not giving up hope that he'll make a full recovery.
I'm not going to lose this battle with COVID.
An emotional Scott Allen.
I'm going to crush it.
Sharing this video on Facebook back on December 16th.
For 2 months, I've basically been in bed, or I've been on the sofa when I wasn't in doctor's appointments or at the hospital.
Allen, principal of Monroe Elementary in Enid, diagnosed with COVID-19 more than 2 months ago. He spoke to News 4 just days before Christmas, saying the virus has wreaked havoc on his body.
Just trying to function is a challenge. Walking to the kitchen is a challenge for me still.
And this week, a trip to Integris Baptist for testing. Allen, too weak to speak again on camera, but telling me in a message, today has just taken it out of me. My heart monitor results showed my heart rate ranging from the 20s to over 170. He believes it's all COVID related and my body is slowly recovering. I'm still not going to be able to work. My students and staff need me. He also wrote on Facebook earlier this week, I have a second-degree heart block, which we will monitor in 2 months to see if I might need a pacemaker. My testimony keeps getting better and better.
I'm not naive to think that there won't be a day that I won't die, but I live my life as if I'm blessed and unstoppable. You watch when I bounce back, and you watch and see what God does through me.
In Northwest Oklahoma City, Jessica Bruno, Oklahoma's News 4.
Now, a few weeks ago, Allen's staff surprised him outside of his home with a caravan of vehicles driving by, holding signs of encouragement and wishing him a full recovery. What a wonderful gesture. New developments in the case of a teen shot and killed by Oklahoma City police earlier this year. Now his alleged teenage accomplice has been charged in his murder. Back in November, 15-year-old Stavian Rodriguez was killed by police after allegedly robbing a convenience store. According to court documents, 17-year-old Wyatt Cheatham held up the store with him that night. The two made away with cash and cigarettes, then left the store together. About 2 minutes later, Rodriguez reportedly returned with a gun and robbed the cashier. After that, he was killed by police.
If the robbery is complete when Mr. Rodriguez goes back into the store, then the conspirator liability that they are putting on Mr. Cheatham should be terminated when the robbery is over. The question then becomes, how long is the conspiracy going to last?
Because the case is still pending, District Attorney David Prater did not comment. The officers who shot and killed Stavian Rodriguez are still under investigation for possible wrongful death. New Year's Eve is often one of the most dangerous days to be on the road, but this year with the possibility of winter weather, you need to be even more careful. Of course, with COVID-19 cases continuing to rise, health experts urge you to stay in on New Year's Eve. But OHP and other agencies will still be on the roads looking for drunk drivers through the NDUI program. If you aren't planning on going out but have to travel overnight to work or anywhere else essential, their best advice is for you to be vigilant, pay attention to the road conditions and drivers around you.
Be aware of your surroundings. Make sure all your distractions in your vehicle are put away while you're driving. We always like you to focus 100% while you're driving, but make sure you're focusing tomorrow night.
Troopers say with all the ride-sharing apps available, there is no excuse for drunk driving. A highly contagious variant of COVID-19 first discovered in the UK, now in the U.S. The state where it was found and what health officials are trying to do to fight it. That's coming up next.
You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 9 with Brittany Spears and Jon Slater. Oklahoma's News 4, looking out for you.
The country is experiencing a record number of COVID hospitalizations, and with ICU units full, hospitals are facing an overflow of patients with staffing and space pushed to the limit. All of this coming at a time when healthcare providers are bracing for a post-holiday surge. NBC's Sarah Dallof has the story.
A highly contagious variant of COVID-19 first discovered in the UK, now in the US, where it's been confirmed in a member of the Colorado National Guard deployed to an assisted care facility. Officials now investigating a second possible case.
Our public health officials are working diligently to identify anyone else who may have been exposed and any other potential cases to test them to see if there's a chain of transmission.
The developments adding to the urgency of vaccinations that are going more slowly than planned. Operation Warp Speed acknowledging it's behind schedule.
Vaccine allocations or uptake usually starts out a little slow, and then it increases exponentially.
In Florida, healthcare workers lining up to get initial doses.
And this is just another piece of the puzzle, but one step closer.
Seniors at another location camping out overnight.
We've been here since 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon.
As healthcare systems reach a breaking point. In Southern California, hospitals converting parking lots, even cafeterias, to handle surges of patients.
We're scared. We don't know what we're walking into.
The virus claiming the life of 41-year-old Louisiana Congressman-elect Luke Letlow days before he was set to be sworn in. At New York's St. Patrick's Cathedral, bells ringing in memory of those lost, a number the CDC projects could top 400,000 in the first weeks of the new year. Sarah Dallof, NBC News.
Dawn Wells, who starred as Mary Ann in Gilligan's Island, has died at age 82. According to her publicist, Wells died today of causes related to COVID-19 in Los Angeles. On Gilligan's Island, Wells' Mary Ann character was the girl next door to the suggestive evening dress glad Ginger. Wells represented her home state of Nevada in the 1959 Miss America pageant and appeared on several TV series, including 77, Sunset Strip, Maverick, and Bonanza.
Now, forewarned weather with Jon Slater.
Gilligan's Island, one of my favorite television programs back in the day. No doubt about that. She'll be missed. All right, let's see what's going on. We're tracking our 5th major winter storm of the season heading right towards the state of Oklahoma. But right now, we have partly cloudy skies, a north wind, colder, drier air trying to work in. But here comes our big winter storm later on tomorrow afternoon, especially tomorrow night into Friday. It looks like the heaviest snow is going to fall across northwestern Oklahoma, just northwest of Oklahoma City. We are really close to a major snow event here in the metro area, but I think it stays just northwest of Oklahoma City, where we have the winter storm watches going. We have winter weather advisories along I-35, Oklahoma City, Guthrie, down into south central, southwestern Oklahoma, because we are on the edge. A little freezing rain, and some snow. So OKC storm details, the way I see it, for tomorrow, increasing clouds. Rain develops around 4 o'clock. Tomorrow night, it's rain and or some freezing rain. Temperatures kind of marginal, right around freezing. If we have some freezing rain, I don't think it's going to be a big deal because temperatures will be around 32, 33 degrees. And that changes over to snow here in the metro area after midnight tomorrow night. As you're ringing in the new year, snow ends around 10 a.m. Total snowfall accumulations here in Oklahoma City about 1 to 3 inches, depending upon the exact storm track. And we could see a few more flurries early on Saturday as another little system rapidly moves across the state. Right now, we have partly cloudy skies, a north wind at 10 miles per hour. Colder, drier air trying to work in. It's 33. It feels like temperature right now at 28 degrees. Temperatures here in the metro area, mainly just above freezing in the 30s across the state, 20s and 30s, 37 Ardmore, 37 right now McAllister. It's colder up around Woodward, 28 degrees, 33 Ponca City, 37 down around the Lawton Fort Sill area, and winds are fairly light out of the northeast at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. We have a lot of cloud cover and some clear skies right now. Some high clouds around. The moon is visible outside tonight. A little bit of light snow in southwestern Oklahoma, not reaching the ground. We do have some rain occurring across southeastern Oklahoma. Flash flood watches down here for more rainfall and localized flooding over the next couple days in southeastern Oklahoma. Where is our major storm system? Well, here it is down here in the Baja and in Mexico. It's a long way away. Here's the track, though, and it's basically going to take a really good track for getting a big storm system in Oklahoma, if you like storm systems. There it is on the satellite water vapor imagery spinning around, and here's the track right up through Texas, right over the Dallas area Thursday, into eastern Oklahoma late Thursday into Friday. This is really the perfect track for heavy winter precipitation central western Oklahoma. But again, it's such a strong system, it's really wrapped up, and it's taking the warmer air aloft, milder air aloft, and wrapping it into the eastern and northeastern side of the storm, and that could definitely cut down on snowfall accumulations from Oklahoma City off to the east and northeast. I think the heaviest snow is going to fall just off to the west and northwest of Oklahoma City. So overnight tonight, some increasing clouds, but really partly cloudy, cold, lows in the 20s and low 30s, some rain in southeastern Oklahoma, and most of tomorrow is dry. It's just increasing clouds. The rain shield moving up from Texas into central Oklahoma doesn't get here till around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 or 5. Cold rain starts coming in from the south, and it's rain and or freezing rain during the evening hours tomorrow, Thursday night, midnight. We're ringing in the new year. Temperatures right around 32, 33. A windswept heavy rain here in the metro area, but it's changing over to wintry precipitation to the west-southwest already, and then heavy snow into western Oklahoma, changes over to snow here in the metro, potentially very early Friday morning. We're on the edge here, heavy snow west-northwest, rain off to the east, and the system slowly moves north and east, and things kind of wind down. So in terms of rainfall, well, this is a big wet system. We're talking about liquid water content western, northwestern Oklahoma over an inch, but a sharp cutoff to the northwest, about an inch of rainfall here in the metro area, and 1 to 3 inches off to the east, southeast. So a lot of water with this system, maybe a little ice Thursday evening, Thursday night before the change over to snow here in central Oklahoma. I don't think it's a big ice storm. Heavy snow western, northwestern Oklahoma. We're on the edge here in the metro area. So again, on average about 1 to 3 inches here in the metro, but we could see bands of 4 to 8 inches of snow, not too far west-northwest of the metro area, and localized areas 10 inches with these heavier bands off to the west-northwest, hardly anything off to the east-southeast, and again, depending upon the exact track, about 1 to 3 here in the metro area. A few more flurries on Saturday, then it clears out, and the weekend, at least by later in the weekend, looks okay, 40s and 50s. That's the latest on the storm. We're back right after this.
Be forewarned before the storm. Download the Forewarn Me app for free at KFOR.com/App Center. Sponsored by Elliott Roofing.
And tonight, Consumers News, check your bank accounts because some Americans have already received their second stimulus check. The direct deposit payments will continue into next week. Individuals who made up to $75,000 in 2019 will get up to $600. Married couples who earned up to $150,000 will get up to $1,200. People expecting to receive payments can check online with the IRS Coronavirus Tax Relief tab. And with those checks coming out, the Federal Trade Commission is telling consumers to be on guard against scammers. The government will not ask you to pay any upfront fee to get your stimulus check. The government will also not call, text, email, or contact you on social media trying to get your social security number, bank account information, or your credit card number. And you should know there is no way to get your money any earlier or faster. As the COVID-19 vaccine continues to roll out across our state, convalescent plasma is still a major need. The Thunder and Oklahoma Blood Institute partnered up to host their annual blood drive today. News 4's Emily Akins was there and talked with donors.
A lot of good things happening here at the State Fairgrounds today. Right now we're in the Expo Hall. This is the 13th year that the Thunder and OBI have partnered for this blood drive, but they say this year it's especially important.
It's an easy way to maybe help save somebody's life.
Saving lives, the mission of both the Oklahoma City Thunder and Oklahoma Blood Institute Wednesday.
Blood is needed for many things 24/7, 365 days a year. Cancer patients, trauma patients. So that's a constant need regardless of COVID.
But COVID-19 was also a big focus. Even with Oklahoma's vaccine rollout underway, donations are still a necessity. Donors who have had the virus lining up to give their convalescent plasma. Each donation can help up to 4 patients battling severe COVID-19 symptoms.
I think it's very important. It's easy to do. And if I had a family member maybe that was sick and this is what they depended on, I would hope somebody would do it as well.
The OBI says they're now sending 1,000 units of convalescent plasma to hospitals around the region each week, compared to not long ago when they were only sending upwards of 400.
The need is great right now, and we need to keep up with that need through donors coming in.
The holidays not usually a busy time for donations as is. The pandemic just adding to it.
We need at least 1,200 blood donors per day to come in and donate blood. We're not able to do that with the pandemic going on.
Staff and donors stressing the 1 hour it takes to go through the process.
Oh, it's pretty easy. I mean, little bitty stick, but it's not bad.
Is worth it. In Oklahoma City, Emily Akins, Oklahoma's News 4.
And we will be right back.
And most of tomorrow, not terrible. My radar is a 5. Increasing clouds, highs around 40, but rain develops late in the day. So by tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, the radar goes down. We have rain changing to snow ending early Friday, maybe a few flurries on Saturday, then things improve by the weekend. So about 1 to 3 inches of snow here in the metro. Brittany, back to you.
You guys have a great rest of your evening.